Testing focus, testing focus. Good, it's focused on my face. Great. I love face detection. Hey there, and welcome back to the world's dirtiest workshop. Christopher Thunder here. Today what we're going to do is we're going to take that thing, the Ryobi drill press, and we're going to move it over to that side of the table. Now, there's a reason why I'm going that side of the table. That side of the table. That side of the table is better reinforced. There's extra layers of wood in there. It's going to handle the weight. The Ryobi base is, molded steel, but it's rather thin around the corners. So as you crank down on that base with some bolts, it's going to press into the wood and it's going to weaken the work table, which I don't want to do. Right? I could have built the work table out of 1-inch thick wood. I didn't want it that heavy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer up the wood in that area just a little bit thicker. And when I've done that, and I feel that it's secure enough and heavy enough, I'm going to move that drill press over to there. And that'll be my video for today. I'm not going to make it a video short that's too short. I don't think that that's going to be the case. This is going to be a job. All that being said, I really enjoy having you, watching my videos. I'm a big fan of you, not the other way around, I don't think. I really like it when I engage with people and they help me learn myself. I think that that's really important. So keep watching, and I promise you plenty of little laughs and giggles along the way. That's what I'm really good at. People have told me as an instructor over the past 30 years that they just can't stop laughing. Only because I have these little rather intelligent ways of slipping in funny jokes and various matters. Gets everybody going. So thanks again for the views and the likes from the world's dirtiest workshop and Christopher Thunder. And now onto the video. So this is the area of the work table that I want to place the drill press. I have some what looks like 3/4 inch plywood, and I have some 1/2 inch plywood. The 3/4 inch plywood, which I can put down on top of this, should give this plenty of strength. There is a layer of poly on here. It's about 6 layers of poly, 6 coats. And there's a structural member running through the area here, just on this side of the vise. That's going to help, but there's not really enough to keep that from tilting or wobbling or vibrating while it's drilling. So that is the trick. Once that thing gets moving and spinning and whatnot, there's a chance that it will wobble itself free. That's what we're trying to avoid. So that's the goal, is to create a base that will prevent that from wobbling, or should it start to wobble, then I can just tighten it back down, and I can do that over the course of 10 years. So I'm thinking 10 years out here now. I am not thinking about a year from now. I want this thing to last 10 years and stay put for 10 years. So let's begin. So one of the first things I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a template for these panels. But I know how big I want everything. I'm going to move these panels out of the way now that I know I have chosen my materials. One panel is really old and the other panel is really new. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my template right up to the edge of the table. Try and get it as straight as possible. So when I do my cutting, it actually looks like I gave it some thought. Well, that's not square there. Or at least the template's not square. Something happened there. So I'm just going to stick these first 2 pieces together. And then I'm going to stick them to the edge of the table just a little bit. See how that looks? Okay, so you can barely see that because that's behind the vise. Okay. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to work out the colors here a little bit. let's try red. All right. So we're going to push that over that way a little bit. Try to keep that against the back of the table. Then we're going to move this up over here like so. That's going to work pretty good. So what I'm doing is I'm making a paper template out of colored paper. It's actually pretty easy. What I'm going to do is lay this down on the plywood, and I'm going to cut out the plywood sheet to fit exactly this way, and it should fit. You know, I'll know way in advance if it's going to work or not because I have the exact size. Now, one of the things I want to do is I want to check the distance going this way, okay, because I'm going to be turning the drill press from this direction to that direction. So I'm going to be working on it from that side behind the vise. And then that way I'll know, how deep I want this panel to be. Deep going this way. So give me one moment. I measured out the distance to be about 15 inches. So that's 16 right there to the edge of the table. Okay. It's almost 17. The way I've got the colored panels laid out right now. And it seems relatively square the way I've done it. So I'm just about 17 there. Just laying that out. So I think that's the piece I want to put down the drill press. That should give me plenty of depth. So what I've done for you here is I've just kind of roughed in how I'm going to put that vise down on the desk. Always work from a template. If you need to change an idea, put down another template. Make sure you get it right, cut it clean, get the sizing right, don't mismeasure the template, you can't mismeasure, and move forward. All right. I really enjoy keeping old doors propped up against the wall with some sawhorses. If you need a work table, you make one. It's that simple, and I need a lot of space to cut. So here I am with one of my old wood doors. They're heavily painted, so I don't splinter. I don't need to have gloves on when I move them. I'm going to bring the saw out and the raw materials, and I'm going to cut the template out so that I can have that extra surface for the drill press. All right, let's see what we got here. We enough room? Is it going to be big enough? I don't know. Let's take a look. The answer is, yes, absolutely. So I'm going to be able to use up most of this wood. And then actually sand that down to give it a nicer look. That's going to be great. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally take this to the wood so it doesn't blow around. And then I'm going to cut around the perimeter with my hand circular saw. This is not going to be an 8 or a 10 inch circular saw. They're very dangerous. I don't like messing with those. You can lose a thumb. So I'm going to use a little 3-inch circular saw, and that should be a lot safer. This Dremel is one of my favorite tools. It's really useful. It allows me to cut things without endangering my fingers. A friend of mine broke his fingers on a circular saw not too long ago. If you're going to cut something, use a small saw. You're less likely to hurt yourself. Alright, we're plugged into the world's dirtiest work table where I have 10 or 12 outlets, and I've just extended it out here to the backyard so I can begin work. Not going to wear gloves because I could get gloves caught in the blade. Plywood there, that's going to make a lot of smoke. That may not be the blade that I want for this right now, because although that's a wood and steel blade, that is making more smoke than is absolutely necessary. So, time to change a blade. Well, guess what? I don't have a proper wood cutting blade for this, so I'm going to go old school and do it old school. Whoa! That's some dried, hard old wood. Oh boy. These days there are rough cut saws that work better than older style crosscut saws. This is an old style crosscut saw. This is a saw that was designed to cut through stuff. I mean, just cut through stuff. You know, logs, tree limbs, right? Why not plywood? Just have to be a little extra careful about where you go with the blade, because you'll cut into the actual piece that you want to keep. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do this in such a way that you can see what I'm doing. Now my elbow is likely to hit that, so I have to be extra careful not to bash my elbow. I am leaving a very rough cut in the wood here. That's working. I'm going to move this saw out of the way because it's just going to rattle. See how I look on the video. Yeah. This is tough wood. It's almost like cutting through hardwood. Wow! See if I can move the workpiece over a little bit so I'm not so close to the edge of the table here. There we go. I can move this clamp away from that area for my own personal safety. So I'm making progress. This has got some really serious teeth in it. Try to get some pressure onto the blade. Wow! Holy mackerel! Woo! This is my torn shoulder. Oh, I can feel that. Ah, like the muscles are torn all throughout here. Well into the pectorals. Wow! Oh my goodness. Wow. I still have to cut that side yet. This side's done. All I gotta do is grind that down with a grinder. Wow! What you're seeing here is I'm getting really close to what that template should be. Isn't that cool? And I'm just using a belt sander. Now I do have a problem. That's the side I cut with the real rough cut saw, and you can see it's nowhere near close to where it should be. But the other side's pretty flat. I've moved everything a little closer, so I've shifted everything that way and moved the camera back to keep it in focus. Now I'm going to really hit this hard. applying so much pressure that the table's moving. Sanding belt seems to be in okay shape. When I bought this sander, this belt sander, somebody had installed the fan in backwards, so it blows all the dust out that way instead of into the bag. I have yet to take it apart and truly figure out what's going on. I thought I had flipped the fan around inside of it, and then I put it all back together like, nope, still going the wrong way. Sorry, you're getting a good view of my butt. Alright, this piece is about 1/16 of an inch too large on two of the sides, so time for a test fit. And then if it fits, it fits. If it doesn't, gonna grind some more. Okay, vice side, power side. Okay, well, guess what? It's too big by about 1/16 of an inch, so this is not dropping into place. Now, I can make a decision. You know, I can try and cut this back to kind of help it lock into place, which isn't a half bad idea. If I try and line it up so it's square with everything, it's looking kind of okay. I mean, the area back here's got a bit of a gap in it. Let's see. It's not looking half bad, considering all the mistakes that could be made in it. It's very close to where it needs to be. It really is. So I'll give you some close-ups. So we're just a little bit away from where we need to be there. So there's the edge by the vise. We're off by about 1/16 of an inch. Now, one of the things I'm all for is, you know, getting a tight fit and making sure that it all slides together. If I clean up this side and this side, the whole thing should shift backwards and then drop in. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Oops. Okay, I've ground off the template a little bit on two of the sides because I just cleaned it up by a hair. Let's see if it slips in. Nope, it does not want to slip in, but it's a lot closer. Look at that. I'm off by about a 32nd of an inch now. Clearly. I mean, it's nothing. So now I got to go back and grind some more. Let's try it again. A little bit more grinding. Got to get the orientation correct. The colors help, but having proper markings. So close. Oh, so close. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the template off and mark the wood directly, because I'm getting to within 32nd to a 64th. Yeah, you know, I work with very small measurements. You know, I'm not the science fiction stunt guy who does all those robots and things, but yeah, I get pretty accurate with stuff. Alright, so I'm on the left side of that ink mark. Over here, We've got a little too much material as we head in towards the corner here. So I'm just going to mark it a little bit. And then I'm going to grind that off so that it fits a little bit better. Alright, so this is the top. So I'm looking for a dot and a little brown spot there. Okay, we're getting to the point where even the blue tape can affect the fitment. So it's time to remove the blue tape. It's easy to tell which side is up because there's a big black knot in the middle of this and it's all dirty looking. So when you're doing your woodworking, remember, you're not the Mythbusters guy. You don't have to get to within 1,000th of an inch. You're just some guy who's trying to get a job done. Take your time, relax, enjoy it. Enjoy your work. I have seriously thought about notching that piece just so it fits in there and it kind of holds itself together. And I'm thinking, I just might want to do that. So I kind of have to think about it for a little bit. So this is the part that gets notched out right here. It's the larger part of the board that gets the notch. Going to grind into the corner of the table. So I'm going to get this to within a 32nd or a 64th. And we're going to check the fitment, see how that works. I want to thank everyone for, what the hell's that? Oh, it's a butterfly. I got butterflies in my garage. Okay, so back to where was I? I want to thank everyone for watching the World's Dirtiest Workshop and Christopher Thunder. You probably wondered what was the point of this exercise. Well, the World's Dirtiest Workshop could be your workshop. It doesn't have to be expensive. The point is that the World's Dirtiest Workshop could be your workshop. You don't need thousands of dollars in tools to make perfectly square pieces of wood. You don't have to have a planer in your garage. I planed this wood down using that same belt sander that I used to make the sides. And it's beautiful. I'm going to be marking it with a pencil, and I'm going to be drilling through it in about a dozen places. And I'm going to be anchoring this drill press down so I can begin using it. And that's going to be fun. And then, next week, I've got another power tool coming, which is also going to go on this bench. So this is going to be the central work piece from the World's Dirtiest Workshop. Thanks again for watching, and have a great week. I'm going to be using these two different kinds of screws to fasten down the panel. These screws will pull the wood together and anchor to a lower structural member. These screws will just hold the panel down against the panel below it. So what I'm going to do is anchor in the panel with these first and then use these to hold the rest of the panel down. I have maybe 10 of these and I have a gazillion of these, so that's how I'm going to play it. Sometimes when you don't plan your holes out, and I planned a lot of these holes out, you're going to try to make a drilling and you're going to wind up with a bolt underneath of that, so you're going to have to stop and pull the drill bit out. So all these holes were planned, except for maybe 3 of these here. I decided to even out the pattern a little bit better, and when I drilled there to try to create an even pattern and get an anchor onto one of the anchor beams, I hit another bolt. So I re-drilled it and I countersinked it, and it's going to be the last one. Yay! Time to wood fill all the holes.